Hey guys, it's Cyndy.
And it's Angela.
And we're here to do a reaction to the Road to Kingdom's first episode.
Performances.
There
you go. Got it.
But as always, go ahead and like or subscribe to our channel, and we'll go ahead and get started for you.
All right. Road to Kingdom is kind of like a prequel to Kingdom, which is the brother group or the brother show of Queendom. If you've watched Queendom, then you probably know most of the rules. The groups kind of evaluate each other in terms of how they would rank it for second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And you get a certain amount of points on what they rank you. So if they thought your performance was first place, you get a certain amount of points. If you thought their performance was sixth place or fourth place, you get a certain amount of points designated to what place that it should be. So if it was ranked first, they would get 100 points. If it was ranked fourth, you would get a different amount of points. And then you add them all together, and that's your complete total. And those totals are what tell you your true rank at the end of the episode or the show. And from what I've also read, and this is all coming from a comment that I read, I really wish I could remember it, but I cannot, so I'm very sorry.
But thank you to whoever wrote it.
Exactly.
We appreciate it.
Very much appreciated. If someone ranks bottom, like 6th or 7th, they're either in jeopardy of being eliminated or they become eliminated if they are bottom 2 weeks in a row. That's where more of the competition, I guess, comes into play. I really hope that that doesn't happen, but I have a feeling it's going to happen anyway because it's competition.
But I know that Ange has been really excited for Road to Kingdom since she heard that it was first coming out. We watched all the little snippets and previews before, so we were excited for the fulls when they came out.
Just so you know, we have watched all the full versions, but we wanted to kind of give more of a better in-depth commentary of what we thought of each of the performances, because honestly, they were all great.
They really were.
And we enjoyed all of them. I hate to admit, sometimes we might become a little biased, or we might like a performance better than others, but that does not mean at all that we think one should completely win it or deserves it more than anyone else, because every person in every group that's coming on deserves it.
So hard
and
to get to this point.
And I hate the idea of a competition. I just wish it was more like a way to just enjoy the interactions between all these groups, because that's another thing I'm like really excited for, is the interactions between each group, and just to see what they come up with, like maybe renditions of certain songs, performances of certain songs. And I just don't like the idea of it truly being a competition. But
yeah, I don't want to see anybody go, because I know how hard it is to get to where they are.
Yeah.
It's hard. So it's going to be really hard for me. So the first one that we're going to be bringing up for you guys is Oneness. They did a vocal performance as well as dance and everything. They're one of the two groups. Two was the other group. And then we're going to go into all the dancing ones for you.
Yep. All right. Let's go. I like the white costumes.
Yeah, I really did like the white costumes. It was definitely different compared to all the other groups.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of them did a little bit more darker colors, or like a blend of colors that had white here and there, but they did like
all
full white. I don't trust white because you could always get marks on it, but they did great. Yeah. And it still looked good.
Yeah, and I like the masks too.
Mm-hmm. I did want to say, oh, I'm so sorry, man. But I did want to say, I was surprised that they actually put one of their own songs into it. I wasn't sure if they were going to, like, when I first had watched it, with the little clip, you could, I think, if I remember correctly, they do have him starting to sing in Twilight, which was one of their title songs. So I was like, oh, they're actually singing a song, one of their own songs. At first I thought it was just mainly like dancing only, and not just singing and dancing. I didn't think about it. I was like taken back by it. I guess you could say.
You were just surprised.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think it's a bold choice for them because of the fact that, I mean, you're going on a dance competition. It seems like for the most part at the beginning of this, they're just trying to introduce who they are. And by doing one of their own songs as opposed to just a dance thing or whatever.
It does establish their vocals because it's also dance and vocal.
Yes.
He just said dance.
Well, no, I'm just saying that they had the choice.
Okay, well, too, yeah. They had
the choice of doing a dance or a dance with vocals.
Yeah.
So, since the majority did just dance, it was interesting for them to do something not only just as a vocal and dance, but one of their own songs.
Yeah.
And it was interesting having that little intro.
I liked the Phantom of the Opera intro. It was really nice. I'm like, they're trying to establish that they ain't coming to play, and they got good vocals, and they're good at dancing. So I was like, okay.
And I liked that imagery.
Oh, yeah.
That was really nice.
The whole, like, up above,
back.
and you can see them turning, too.
Yeah.
I liked that. I did like that. I was like,
that was
it was so, like...
I mean, it's something that you kind of liked in a couple of other videos from other groups. So, I mean, it was, like, really nice to see how they integrate, the camera angles with what they're doing, too.
Yeah.
And that was nice, the little pyramid there.
And then what I thought was cool about this, I'm like, this...
That's trust.
I know. And honestly, to me, I don't know why, but that was, like, such the killing part to me for the choreography, because he walked up like it was nothing, like he was just walking up a pair of stairs, and then...
They just break part underneath them.
I know. I'm like, yeah, it is so much trust. It really is.
Because you got to trust that they're, first of all, going to either pull out far enough away that you're not going to crash on top of somebody, or even just, I don't even know what the logistics is to do that, because it's like, all right, does he jump first and then everybody scatter? Or because we're looking at it from such a different angle, we really can't see what they did to break that apart.
Because it's more of an up angle and not a side angle. That's another thing I was kind of mad at in general with some of these performances, is that the camera angles kind of took away of like some of the intricate moves.
But I was like, we can see that in the dance practices.
It depends.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
We haven't seen all the dance practices. So. I like that. That's a good move too.
Suspension, man.
Yeah.
I like that ending. It was so simple and subtle, but it was perfect, like a and watching them move to him moving his hand and then dropping it, and they drop their heads.
It was classic.
It was simple and aesthetically pleasing. There are certain times when having a lot of choreography or having like strong beats and synchronization or synchronicity is very pleasing, and then sometimes it's just simple stuff like that can like totally win over performances and people in general. I thought that was really nice. I really liked that.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a very strong performance for them to come out of the gate with. So I liked it. Now, I'm not very familiar with Oneness, so it was, I have to learn still. I obviously know more on a couple of the other bands. And the next one that we are going to do is 2.
Yes.
Which is a group that just debuted in April.
1st of April. So, now, from what I've understood and read, they filmed this, or the first episode and probably most of the season thereafter, in the middle or near the end of March. So they, from what I understand and from what I've read, had not debuted at this point. So for me, I'm like, it's a whole new look. This is like their first stage. So I like the idea that they chose from the video, I think, their debut song. I have listened to it. I don't listen to it too often, but I have listened to it and I can't remember it entirely. Or like if it's the same, because me and my brain don't get along very well. But I think it is their debut song because I heard them say the name of their song. It was more like a pre-stage for them.
So they really had to come out with that song that establishes who they are. So
Yes.
they really couldn't just risk just dancing. I think that they needed to establish that they are there for a reason.
Yes.
So by doing their debut song and everything, it probably helped set the stage for them, not just in the show, but for everybody.
Exactly. So I was happy and not disappointed, definitely not disappointed, because I thought it was a very good stage, especially for a group that's just about
Just
to
started.
debut or just starting. It was actually really strong, but it's still fresh. So they I don't think viewers and more or less the group themselves or the other groups themselves had much to go on because they were so fresh. But I think through this show in general, I think they're going to establish a good fan base. Because honestly, after watching everything, I'm like, okay, there are a few groups that I'm casual listeners of that I'm like, I need to get myself into. And then there are groups, and that just turns into, okay, all these groups I'm about to just finish standing or have already stand. Let's get into it.
Yep. Oh, that was nice. Them getting up off that ground. Oh, more trust.
Very.
More trust.
I know. Honestly, I don't know if it was like they couldn't get him up, but I like how
It really
was like
slow motion to pull him up.
I know. It almost added to it. Like I said, I don't know.
Kind of built anticipation.
Exactly. I was like, woo.
It's like, what are they doing?
I know. Or are they gonna land it? I mean, obviously if they practiced enough, they're obviously gonna land it. But you never know because something always happens on these shows. They could do it perfectly 100 times, and all of a sudden, it comes onto this, and they're like falling. I'm like, oh my god, what happened? What happened? But I was like I said, I have no idea if they couldn't get him up right away. But the way they brought him up slowly and set him down, I was like,
yeah,
the
that
suspense,
was nice.
even if it wasn't planned.
See, I think it would have been nice to see that even from the ground, you know? That was good.
I know. And it's weird because the styles are so diverse for each person. Like, you could
Yes.
tell a few of the similarities. Like, I think those two had plaid because he's all in plaid. But, and then some of them looked like they had checkered. There was, like, yellows and reds and blues all mixed together. And while it's so different, it somehow perfectly mixes together.
It is mixing together. It's still a family of style. Mm-hmm. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I know, but
to me, it's more like of a junky style. But, I mean, it's not a bad thing to have that style. It's just, it's not my
Cup of
preference or whatever.
Cup of tea?
Sure, cup of tea.
I honestly like those. I don't know why. Me and you are difference. Have differences when it comes down to that. I kind of like the more like each person kind of has almost their own
individual
style,
yeah,
while still looking connected. While you kind of like more maybe like more connection compared to others.
Well, I've always been big on like the color similarities.
Yeah.
And I like it when they're like all like the same kind of color, even if their styles are slightly different. but
Or like variations. And
yeah,
stuff.
like that. Like I like the style families where they're like solid colors, but they give that different look to each person. And that's some of the stuff that I like, especially when some people have like longer coats, shorter coats, you know, different kinds of things to put together, but I'm always looking at that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So that was good.
Yeah, I liked it. For them to come out and debut with that was really nice.
So the next group should be O&F. Now, I don't know too much about O&F. I'm just a very, very casual listener. I have a few of their songs on my phone that I really enjoy. Honestly, I think it was it wasn't their debut. But one of their songs I think that got them like more notice, which was Complete Me. It's probably one of my favorite O&F songs. And I like to listen.
I don't know what it is offhand. I don't know title songs or titles of songs. I'm the worst at that. I just know which ones I like. And I'm like, you know that song with that lyric in it? I like that one. That's usually how I work. But
yeah. So I'm kind of going into this, honestly, it's the same as 2 going in with a complete, almost blank slate on them entirely. They are pretty good too. Like in general, some of their dances and obviously discography it's pretty good. Yeah, I know. And so I was like, oh, okay, we got this.
All right, so let's get into this one.
Oh, that's right.
See, this is like that style thing that I was talking about. They're all black.
Oh, I think O&F sang too.
Did they?
Did they? I don't know. We might have been wrong.
Maybe 3 and 3. Who knows? We'll find out.
Maybe. No, 3 and 4.
Oh, 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My favorite O&F song is We Must Love, and they kind of opened with it, or had like a similar tune to it in my memory. And so I was like, yeah. Yes, they did sing. Dang, we were wrong.
I like the simple hand gesture movement.
Mm-hmm.
More trust.
I know. It was so angelic, though.
Yeah, it was. Considering their bad boy look here.
I know. Ooh. It's not even the hip thrust, but the way they went, and like so, I don't know, pleasing to me. Not even. All right, it's just. I'm gonna just leave it as a.
It was intense. It just felt a little short.
And sometimes they feel short, but I think sometimes certain ones feel short is because it might not always have like complex choreography. They have like generally like a very simple choreography, or like I don't know if it's considered simple because obviously it's not simple.
Nothing's simple.
Obviously, but like I don't know. It doesn't like overload your brain. And I think sometimes that's a good thing, but you don't realize how quick it passes by. Because from what I've watched, almost every performance that they did was, I think, either not. I think
90.
it should be
supposed to be 90 seconds.
So they should all be the same amount. It's just sometimes the way that either the video's played or the way that they perform it, while it's so good, sometimes it just flashes right before your eyes, and you don't even realize that it's over. It does feel short because I think a few of them do feel short. I think one or two other ones felt short, but they were still so good to watch. Like, honestly, I enjoyed watching this one. Just like I enjoyed watching all the rest of them. Yes. Because they're all amazing. They're always so good. Golden Child.
Yes.
Golden Child. Honestly, Golden Child was good. but
Now, what was the entertainment house for?
Golden Child? Golden Child is William, which is the home to the king of synchronization, Infinite. I mean, a lot of people know that. I mean, there's obviously new generations. Well,
But I'm new.
yeah. There's obviously newer generations like 17, for example, a few other groups. They have claimed like a good...
Sync title?
Yes. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Infinite, but I know all of them. I do watch a lot of their stuff, and I do listen to a good amount of their music. I have always heard, and I always agree with it, they do know how to be synchronized, or in sync all the time. I mean, they've had that title for a while now, and I don't think they're ever going to lose it. Like, everyone, if you don't know, you should know.
Well, I know now. Okay.
Because in Infinite,
Because we'll just have to do a whole special on them.
yeah, we'll do an Infinite special eventually. All right, so let's get into Golden Child. I do like that though. I don't know.
Pulling them up.
They pulled them up instead of them just getting up on themselves. They went.
Yeah.
And pulled them up, which I thought was cool. I liked that. Oh, I love that part. This is my favorite part. I don't know why. Just them like moving forward in like such a powerful and like they're like
honestly, this one is very intense.
I know.
Like, it's almost like we are going to be in your face.
I know, but it's like
but it's
good in your face. So
I
like,
want the in my face.
When I watched the preview for it, I was like, ooh, it's so.
We ran out of space on
Now we're
Take
back
two.
with more. Haha, we're back. We're fine though. We're continuing. All right. Yes. Just right before.
Yeah.
Yes. This part.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say before we noticed. Is that I'm actually not a big fan of like hard EDM that they use. Mm-hmm. I can't vibe with it as much as I'd like to. It takes me a little bit to get into it. Take ATEEZ for example. They tend to have a lot of EDM, hard bass drops, or just EDM music playing in the background. So like it took me a while to get used to Cactus and Calling, even though I liked Calling quicker than I did Cactus. But I don't know why. For some reason, when I listened to this, it was good, and I didn't struggle to like, music's okay. Because in all honesty, even if the performance is great, I can love the performance, but I can't
always like the background music.
Yeah, and I just kind of like, all right, the performance is good. I like the performance, but I wish they picked better music. And I hate to be that person. I really do, especially to groups I adore and love. But I can't. No matter how hard I try so hard. I think ATEEZ and sometimes like performances with certain other groups are one of the few I can either just automatically like or somehow grow into it on the second and third listen. Even if I don't entirely like it right away when I first hear it. All right. Let's go. And then the spinning. The spinning. I think something I don't think you can see in like a frontal view is I think he kind of falls back. Like he's already on his back, really.
In a lift already.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell if it's Changjun or not. I don't know. But I know obviously one of the members is lifted, and I think he kind of falls back a little bit, or kind of has
it's kind of like pulled down or pulled back.
Which I think would have been cool to see if you saw maybe from an up view that time, or
maybe from a back view.
Back or side view. I think that would have been cool, because I do wish I saw exactly how they did it, because I didn't notice it the first time. We watched it all together, and then I think when I watched it once or twice by myself, I noticed, I'm like, he kind of just like falls back. Now how does that work? I want to see how that works because that's cool, but we can't ever see it. So I'm like, "Arr."
Oh,
That
was good.
so good. I was like,
good. I like.
oh, it was like perfect. I don't know. And they made it match the beat. And when they did the whole and they had the gun noise, oh, it was so good. I want to watch it again.
Okay.
That's my favorite part. I love that part too. And Y kills it. Ugh. I don't know why. The way that they kind of like,
Moved as a group.
yeah, they moved as one.
Okay.
And the way that Y's like actions and facials.
Well, those are what they teach, right?
Huh?
Those are what they teach, getting those facials.
Oh yeah, you gotta have facials. I love facials. Even though I don't like doing them, I hate doing facials, especially in front of somebody. That's why. That's why
a good one.
I know. I struggled so bad in competition and stuff during when we did competition and all that. I struggled so hard with facials because I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. For some reason, and I know it's a bad thing because
It's horrible.
You need to look at the mirror.
Because even in theater, you're supposed to look in the mirror all the time and do different mouth movements and all such other crap. And I still can't do it.
So I love watching them. And I do enjoy doing them sometimes, but I cannot look at myself when I do them. But, oh, so good. And then, oh!
You're so funny.
I know! I feel bad not showing reactions to the other ones. Ugh.
It's alright.
I guess it's because I guess you could say stan them as hard.
Yeah.
Like, I've been into
you're
one.
always going to be more involved in things that you already love. So
Yeah, but I have
understand.
enjoyed Oneness for a while. Certain performances get me more hyped than others. Some I just enjoy for the simplicity, while as just the beautiful choreography and intricate choreography that all the other ones had. But then certain ones will always get me more hyped. I think I watched some of the other ones more like, who are they? What are they doing? What are they doing? Like 2 and O and F. I didn't react like this because I'm still just constantly like, yeah, their moves are good and their vocals and stuff.
We're not
good.
invested yet.
Well,
We're not invested in that group yet.
Yes, that's
what I was
correct.
trying to say.
I was like, invested? What do you mean? I am invested. I just haven't learned them all yet. But for the groups that I do, as the word says, stan, I do stan at this time. One is Golden Child, the Boyz, Pentagon. That's the only ones I stan. I'm a very casual listener, very, very.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a group that I've been telling myself to stan for like 3 or 4 months now. I think ever since Lay Back came out. Of like, I need to learn this group. I need to learn this group completely and completely stan them. But I got lazy and I just also forgot to do it. So I haven't learned their names, but I know, right? But I do very much listen to their music very casually. I love listening to them. And ONF and 2. Well, obviously we know why for 2.
Yeah, because they're still babies.
I know, they're fresh out of the box. I'm excited for them. I feel like they have so much in store, especially from this. I'm like, they're good. Yeah. Anyways, back to Golden Child because now I'm just veering off talking
all over the place.
I don't know, but like I said, I felt like as I'm watching this now, I'm being so much more hypocritical to the other groups, which I feel bad for. But I don't know. Like I said, certain performances always get me so hyped. Don't know why.
It's all good. It's all good.
And Bowman's he's my bias. So watching him as like the ending fairy and just went. I'm like, oh, oh, great. Like, oh, yeah, there you go. Oh. I know, I'm bad. I'm
Here,
so
let me
bad.
get that drool off your face.
Am I? Is it too bad? Is it noticeable? Alright. Now the next is very, very. Haha, we were just talking about them. I'm gonna
Let's
be a
just
little
walk.
bit biased here. I'm gonna put a disclaimer out now. 3 to 4 groups that I did enjoy the most are the later ones. And I hate to say it, especially since I enjoy all of them. But these were some of my favorite performances, the ones that I'm watching now. So Golden Child was one of them, and then the rest that are following after. Honestly, I very much enjoyed Very Very's. And I
Very much enjoyed Very, very.
Yes.
Very.
Very much.
Very
But
so.
all right, let's get straight into
Get
Very
into it.
Very.
Oh,
This
this
one.
is the. All right, yeah.
I like that ripple that
Yeah,
they do
that was-
twice. It's
yeah.
like you almost think, oh, they're being repetitive, but no, it works.
It's really nice.
It
I
works.
did like that one. That was really nice.
Also, the background music.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed this background music the most out of all of them. I don't know, because I like that little...
It seems like they really kind of integrated that background music into their dance, which is really weird because there's no lyrics.
Yes.
But it somehow really does mesh. Like, it just feels right.
I know.
Like this was meant to be that dance.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't think any other dance could fit but this.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't know, like I love that little like I was just doing earlier. I like how that pops up every once in a while. I don't know, I love those types of like tunes. They're some of the types of tunes that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna love this song and stuff. So I was like, See, there it is again. And I just love how it can go from that type of beat and then just
Slide right
into like a
something beautiful.
smooth,
Beautiful
noise.
sound.
Oh, it was so well put together.
Oh, and that was the other thing. Pause that.
Oh, that's right. You could.
I loved that particular moment, like when he is doing
Kinda
that
like-
solo dance, and then those two that on the
Three,
right
yeah.
that have their back to him. You
think it's-
know the timing has to be perfect for them to move synchronously after into that next move.
Because if they don't, you're gonna tell that they're off.
Yeah,
You can
and
either
even
tell
if
that
a
he's too
millisecond-
fast, or they're too slow, or they're too fast and he's too slow.
Whatever the case may be, I mean, that is an opportunity for something to really go bad.
know.
But I mean, they were so smooth.
I know.
And with them facing down, I mean, I know that there's peripheral vision that they can go with. I know it's about counts. I know it's all about timing with the music. But it doesn't matter what they do. The
Just
fact
to
that
still-
they do it
And
is-
do,
and
I
do it
know,
well.
it's great. It's
That's
always
beautiful to
I
me.
know.
I like that part. Because he's almost like pulled them into his dance with them. And I thought that was sharp.
Yes. I like that part.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice when they got up too.
Yeah. This.
Trust again. Slide through.
I know.
Slide through.
So I think even you mentioned it, and I think a few other groups or comments, not groups, mentioned it. But you know, the one song "Don't Tease Me," when they do a lot of tricks, backflips, and they did the whole jump and stuff. You talked about it, I think. Is like they do one where he literally jumps through, they catch him, and he pushes back. And one of them, I think, goes above him, if I remember the choreography. So it was cool watching somebody else do it, because you don't see that very often. And for them to do it so easily and make it look not hard,
Absolutely.
as well as not failing in the process, you're like, yes, yes. And, Oh,
Nice. That was nice and sharp.
yes.
I like that one a lot.
Yes. Now, I know this is gonna make you sad, but he, which should be the youngest, and I think is Kangmin, he during the performance ended up twisting his ankle.
That's why he's probably puffing there.
Yeah, and in the first like preview clip, you could see him crying, and because he hurt his ankle. So I'm hoping he heals well and he can recover well to, continue the performance. All right, back to the good part, because I know you don't like hearing about it, but
Well,
I just want him
don't
to
like
heal
seeing
well.
them frustrated and being, because I know how much they're so dedicated to their group too.
Oh yeah.
And for them to feel like they can't continue their performance, they feel like they've let their team down or their group down. and
Okay,
that's
Mama,
just
stop!
all-
You're gonna start crying. Stop!
I can't help it.
Okay, different topic. We gotta talk about how good it was.
It was good.
It was so
really
good.
good.
I know.
I just hate seeing and hearing about that.
You made me go into like a high-pitched noise I don't do. All right, next we're on to the boys. All right. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! If you have not watched the episode, then just skip like past 10 seconds, or we'll put a number to where you could start it as. The boys, for the ranking of the first episode, did win first.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly,
For a good reason.
this
Good
is me
reason.
being biased again, and I hate it, but they deserve, not that they deserved it, but they proved to everyone that they were not here to play.
No, they came out and killed it.
That's what I was trying
and
to say, not
showed
necessarily.
everyone that they got it.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this is what helps them get into Kingdom, you can't wait around and you can't like just do whatever you think feels right. You have to come out here with your A game and just knock it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunately the only way to get anywhere in any kind of competition, which sucks
I
because
know. I
lots of
know.
reasons. But anyway.
I mean, obviously all the groups, like I've been obviously reiterating through the whole video so far, so I'm sorry about that. They all came, but I also think some of them were hiding their true ability.
And that's
then
a
some of them
possibility,
also
too.
came out like,
Somebody could be dog
here we are, we don't want to sugarcoat what we're capable of doing. And I think that's what the boys
Well, the
did.
thing is they came
I also
out
think
and set
very,
the
very
standard
did-
very high for everyone else to beat.
Exactly.
Because at this point, coming out with this kind of a level, when you set that bar, now everybody's got it like what
Either
the
top
A game
it or
that
bring
they were
themselves
bringing
up.
in now has to start here the next time
Mm-hmm.
in order to feel like they're actually progressing and going further and testing themselves. Like, yes, it may have been their A game up until this point, but that bar got boom put
Mm-hmm.
up there once, they finished their dance because
I know.
the boys really did good.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Alrighty. Alright, let's go, boys. Oh, I mean,
Okay.
even their starting
I know,
stance,
okay.
like their starting pyramid
I'm
is
so
like,
bad.
alright. Like, as soon as that shows, it's okay. But anyway, so like just having that starting pyramid where they are already on top of each other, they've already set the game high and it hasn't even started. I mean, it was just like, oh, this is gonna be good. Like you knew just in that moment.
I was like, oh, this is a different starting point.
This is-
Compared to others, they were more very much level and on the floor, but Hacknyan's already,
up in, yeah, like
I know.
George Washington crossing pose.
Okay, Ma.
Oh,
Okay.
come on. It looks like they're going across the Delaware in that painting. But anyway, go on.
History buff.
Sorry.
Oh, he looks so good. I'm so bad. That's my bias right there. That was up in the air already at the beginning. It's okay. Seeing Younghoon dance again after being out because of revealed promotions. He could only do like 2 or 3 parts here and there. So it was like hard to watch, and then hard because I actually read about it when he first got his collarbone, and I was like, dang, that sucks. I feel so bad because he couldn't do concerts as well. Like, he was still there, but he had to sit out for them. He was still performing, but he was still on the side. So I was like, oh, that stings. I feel bad. And even, like I said, during reveal promotions, he wasn't able to do every song, but he knew the choreography because at fan signs and stuff, you could see him doing it on the side and actually going pretty hard.
Yeah, but then again, you watch a video for like 2 or 3 times and you know half the choreography, so.
But when I saw him and he looking like a prince, oh, I was so happy. I was like, yes, he's back in the game!
And killing it too.
I know. Yes, you!
That jump.
I know.
That leap.
The jump.
I mean, that is just. I mean, you can see it even in the performance shot. You look at the background of like the people in there, and
look
they're all like,
I think that's
awesome.
Jaehyun and Donghyun.
But I mean, they're both like.
Yeah.
They're
Am I
both
getting
like.
their names mixed up?
You know, I mean, it's
not.
awesome. I mean, everybody like, and when they showed that the song when they're doing the reactions in it.
They're like, whoa!
Like, how many times did you see it or hear it? Because they're
like trying to get everyone's reaction.
I mean, some of them are just jumping up and going, "Oh my god!" It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was cool though. I mean, to be there to see that.
If they ever go on tour, I swear I hope they perform this, especially if they do it in the U.S. because I want to go to one of their concerts, and I hope they perform this.
It's a nice trip. Oh. I mean, they did a lot of like back rollover work in this too. Oh, and that's awesome because of the fact that they all that muscle control in that leg in the balance to keep up.
I know, it's still
like we exercise and we do yoga and we're not the best at balance. So watching them perform and throw their balance off by doing motion at the same time, it's just awe-inspiring.
Mm-hmm. I know the whole
yeah. And there they do it again.
I hit the table.
Sorry. Muscle control.
I know. I like this. It was funny because they only showed up to when they lie down like that, and like some of us were all like, "Where's Juyeon?" You don't see Juyeon in any of the two groups. We're like, "Where's Juyeon?" Like this doesn't make any sense. And then we saw like some of like the extra clips and stuff. Does that mean he's gonna have a special part? What's he gonna do? I'm excited. Like what's gonna happen? And then I saw him come out and he's all like standing there. I'm like,
although I do wish we could have seen this moment when he like within the next few seconds when he jumps and lands, because we don't get to see that height because we're from an overhead view. We really don't get to see, you know, that motion truly because it's just that top view, so you don't get to see that I guess lateral moves.
Yeah.
I love the way
I love the way he moves his
the sword,
or like flips the sword and stuff and catches it. It's great. Ugh. Like
See, I mean, here it would have been nice to have seen that real leap,
like,
because I mean, we don't know how high he got. He just, you could tell he leaped, but it's like, and he did that whole, you know, power slam move, but I mean, he really, it's like, okay, that's great, but I mean, did he get like 3 inches off the ground, or did he actually get up like 2 feet off the ground and like really power it? I mean, you can tell he did pretty good, but I just wish I could have seen that.
All right, let's continue.
Yes.
You talking?
What?
This looks so good. This.
Oh.
I really wish that you could have gotten a better view of that. I still think it's cool, like the angle still shows exactly what they're doing, but I still wish you could almost, I guess, get a back view from like this side while they're in front. I don't know how to explain it, but I wish you got a better view of it because I felt like the camera kind of made it lose some of its effect. Like you still saw Eric jump over Kevin. It has to be Kevin, but you still see Eric jump over Kevin and like Sangyeon, because that should be Sangyeon too. Moving the sword, so I'm just like, I really wish we saw it way more. Ugh.
There were a lot of great moves in this, definitely.
So good. Now,
I think that was the Zaishi. I think that's the shorter sword. Because I thought he had the long sword in that last move. And I thought I saw it get dropped.
well, he also had it even in earlier.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had it.
Okay.
He was actually supposed to take his sword out.
But it looks like it got stuck.
Got stuck. And he tried twice.
Once.
He kind of like tries it once and then tries it one last time when he's standing
spinning
up and stuff, and it doesn't come out, so he just, and he makes it look smooth. That's why because in the practice, because I did watch their dance practice, he was actually supposed to jump up along with them, but because the sword got stuck, because he's supposed to kind of pull it out when he jumps up, when it got stuck, he kind of like, ooh, I guess, or something happened. He kind of paused in like that split second,
out of it.
So he couldn't do the regular jump, but he still made it look good, and he didn't make it look bad at all.
Yeah, it still fit within it. Unless you knew, like a lot of times in most choreography and competitions, if the people don't know the choreography, even if you screw up, as long as you make it look like it was meant to be, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And that's what he did. He made it look like that was the motion he was supposed to do. So it worked. But,
Yeah.
And the one thing that we didn't talk about in the past few is because most of the past few were just different variations of black. I really like their style in this particular one because it's that...
It's like a navy blue velvet.
Yeah, but on top of that, it's kind of got those callbacks to like their warrior, kind of the I don't know. I mean, I don't want to offend or anything, but those Asian kind of jackets and like the kimonos and things like that, which is, that warrior feel and everything. So, I mean, it was nice touch back to their roots and heritage.
It could have been, yeah. I don't know exactly where they got the idea or the style from exactly.
But I mean, it's still beautiful, but it looks retro to some degree. I just like the way it looks.
Yes, it's a very nice look.
But I like a lot of Japanese styling, so
yes,
I could have been that.
Into that.
Sorry.
But yeah. Ugh.
They still look good. I mean, everybody still jumped up and cheered. That's all that matters.
I mean, all of them at some point stood up and cheered for everyone. The last one is Pentagon. They were the one.
Pentagon is the most senior group.
I've been into Pentagon for about at least a year to 2 years now. So I know what they're capable of. I really do. I know they're so good. And I love their music and everything. So I'm excited to see what they have in store.
Yeah, I mean, I found that interesting. At least they kind of gave you their little introduction to like one of their songs, so you knew who they were. But then they broke it off into this other music, and it's like, okay.
It was like a nice nod to them. Well, obviously some other groups did. They didn't sing it. They just kind of used it as like an intro. Which I don't know if that makes it any different from any of the other groups that sing their own songs or use their own songs.
No.
I don't know.
And then the use of the masks.
I like the masks.
I mean, obviously there's a black light somewhere.
Yeah, there has to be. Because it has a bluish tint instead of just a regular white tint or whatever.
And like obviously you can see within the masks that
there's like LEDs or stuff like in it, like lights in it that normally require black lights to illuminate those better. But yeah. I like that part. I also like the background noise. Like the little, like almost
The
like
crackling?
like the crackling or like crumbling or something. It was interesting. You don't hear that very often in like
No.
music, so it was interesting to hear.
Well, I mean, a lot of music, and I think within the dance itself, there was a lot of imagery and sound effects that kind of make you unnerved.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like getting you under the skin.
Which was very different compared to every other group.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that. It was. That was nice.
They were actually a little short. Because that's their end pose, isn't it?
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Pentagon is the king. There is no doubt.
So they just made it into
I
the
feel
90
like they
seconds.
just
made the 90 seconds.
Because that's 90 seconds right there.
Exactly. So that's why it felt shorter than the others, because most of the others actually ran over the
I think some of them did run
90
over.
seconds. Whereas they literally took it to 90 seconds and that's it.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe they were feeling like, they were given a time interval. We are not going to go over it. We are going to it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I had mentioned this before. Woosuk, which was the one that was in the beginning with the pinkish, whitish, or not whitish, blonde hair, he had injured his back. And his back's been kind of acting up ever since Dr. Bebe era. If you notice, during the dancing parts, he's not there at all. I enjoyed it because it was, honestly, I think it was the most simple, but it was one of the more interesting ones compared to others. No, I don't know. Honestly, it's weird because I'm like, I don't want to compare them, but you honestly.
Well, it's hard not to because
and you automatically start comparing them without even thinking about it. So it was like.
I mean, theirs was definitely different in the sense that, of the performances, this was a little bit more on, I don't want to say like the disturbed level. Like, it's disturbing.
It kind of creeped you out in a good way. You're like, okay, so this is like creepy and interesting.
This was just much more like a performance art.
This one truly just told a story with dancing obviously involved. While others told a story but had...
It was still a dance routine.
Yeah.
Where this just had that element of like I said, like more of a dance performance, like, or performance art kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, intricate, and also integrating that some of the sounds, like obviously when he's screaming, they integrated that part. But again, that's all kind of like unnerving because they're trapped him. Like he starts screaming and then they trap him and kind of like pull him back.
Yeah, and he's trying to like shove him off and he's like running away.
Crackling and that unnerving like sounds underneath so it's like you're like, oh, and then it kind of moves on to, more. But I mean, it's of all of the groups, most of them have been, hip-hop-y, upbeat, pumping kind of stuff. And this is more like that.
It was definitely more of like performance arts that incorporated dance into it, but it was mainly just there to tell a story.
That kind of makes sense.
I think.
Go you.
Alright. Ooh. So, and I hate to admit it because at first when I watched it, compared to everyone else's, it almost seems lackluster.
Yes.
But the more that I watched it, the more I I started to appreciate it better. I really hate to admit it, but I was like,
well, even I said that and the first time we watched it because I don't remember where in the sequence we were watching them all. But I mean, we'd already seen the Boyz because obviously we were very excited to see the rest of the Boyz performance because of the preview that we saw before the show actually aired. It was, highly anticipated to see that one. And like we said before, since they set that bar so high, everything else kind of had to compare to that. And I think when it's a different type of dance, a different type of art. Like, this is intense, but an intense in a different
It's like
way.
a subtle
very,
intense.
It's a very, I can't say emotional because it didn't evoke emotion other than the fact that you felt uneased.
Yeah.
Whereas all the others, like I said, they're so into pumping you up, getting you involved, getting you, into the beat. This was not. And because it was such a contrast.
It was like a complete
everything,
180 to everyone else. It almost seemed like, well, they're not really doing much.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, that was simple. That was kind of boring. But it really wasn't when you actually dive into it a little bit more. So, I mean, it was good. And it was just that much of a difference that kind of set them apart again, as being the senior group as opposed to the other groups.
Yeah.
That aren't, I mean, I know that what is it, the Boyz and...
a few other groups that are on the show debuted in 2017, 2018. So they're not necessarily...
They're not new, but they're not the oldest of the groups.
Yeah.
So
I've always struggled to understand stories while I watch them until someone explains it to me.
yeah, I'm not
I don't
very
know
good at
why.
interpretation.
You think I should... Me, dancing for almost 10 years or so, I should be able to, like... I know exactly what this story is trying to portray. But half the time I'm like, so what's it about? And I'm like, did you get it? Did you get it?
Don't look at me.
I don't got it. It went right over my head.
Yeah, I mean, some of it you can kind of tell, like, certain things are obvious, but, it is sometimes hard to get, like, that's why I'm not very good at the theory thing.
Me neither.
And
I always read everyone else's because I'm like, that seems like it makes sense. Especially when they show pictures and videos, I'm like, okay, I see what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
But when I watched it, I had no idea.
No, I just like it for the imagery and the dance and the costumes, so I'll just drool over that. I'm not going to worry about thinking too much.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this one makes you think more than the other ones.
Yeah.
So, so obviously we are very excited for the next episode. I know that there was a little preview with snippets, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah.
Because we just want to focus on what we've seen thus far.
Yeah. So that's all of the performances of Road to Kingdom episode 1. That was a lot, but I still liked it. It's going to be a long video.
Sorry. But we hope you enjoyed.
Share your opinions. We'd love to hear them too. You like and taking everything.
Yep. And then, subscribe. If you see any shirts you like, don't forget to check out my Etsy account. It's in the links below. And we hope to see you again soon.
Bye!